Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Magick, and
That ninja.
we are here, and we are back for another podcast. This one, of course, as you know, if you've been tuning in, is Serious Sunday, and we will be talking about co-parenting with a narcissist. Oh, y'all, where do I begin? Co-parenting with a narcissist. First of all, last week, if you tuned into our show, our last series Sunday, we exposed the narcissist. So we talked about the traits and we talked about how to deal with them. And we even talked about how to get over them and move on to the next level and what to do to move on to the next level. But what do you do when you can't move on to the next level because you are forced to co-parent with them? First of all, let's break it down to what it really is in its real form. When you're co-parenting with a narcissist, like, we're just going to back all the way up. First of all, a lot of narcissists use people as their pawns and their tools. And if you think that that doesn't apply to children and babies, you are very wrong. As a matter of fact, that is the perfect way for a narcissist to hover. That's the perfect way for a narcissist to keep you around and keep you in their life. So how do you deal with that situation? How do you heal from dealing with a narcissist? Some narcissists you're not able to escape from. Some narcissists will purposely have children with you so that they can constantly be in your life. Some narcissists will make you afraid to leave them because of the children. Then they'll start using the guilt tripping. Then they'll start using all the other manipulative tactics that they like to use. But what do you do when you finally get the strength and you're no longer scared to be associated with the narcissist and you leave? Now, some, they may disappear for a while, but as I told y'all last week, they always come back. And you have to prepare yourself as the victim of their abuse and manipulation to deal with them not only as a survivor yourself, but also be there for your children. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It is not easy. I already told y'all I've been going through almost 10 months of HE double hockey sticks dealing with one myself. And I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. It was really hard. It's still really hard. Going back and forth to court cases, trying to make you seem like you're a bad parent, trying to use any and every angle of manipulation to get you held in contempt of court, to try to get you in trouble with the law. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on, especially if you're dealing with that evil, malignant narcissist. So what have I been doing to cope with this situation? A lot of counseling. That's all I'm going to say, because that's the truth. A lot of counseling. A lot of trying to shield your children and protect your children. Going to every single trial or court case and making sure that you lawyer up. I'll tell you one thing, y'all. Not only are they good at manipulating you, not only are they good at manipulating the children, but if they're really spiteful and really evil, they'll even try to manipulate the law. So you have to be careful. You have to protect yourself. So all I know is you guys better lawyer up. If you don't have that much money, try to find a low cost or a free lawyer that'll help you out. But I'm telling you guys, you better lawyer up. As a matter of fact, I just left a court case with the one that I'm talking about on Thursday. And already after court, because he doesn't listen to a word the judge says, right after court, he's still trying to threaten with getting me locked up, getting the children taken away, and all this other BS that doesn't make a lick of sense. And it's hard. It's hard to deal with it. And then on top of the fact, narcissists do not take responsibility for their actions. They want to hold you accountable for everything, want to blame you for everything, even their own faults. Like I can't meet you for our custody exchange, but it's your fault. I can't be there to do the court-ordered phone calls because, like I said, manipulation of the law. So to try to force his way into my household, court-ordered phone calls. Didn't even make it to the phone call. Got every excuse in the book, but wants to get me in trouble all the time. Wants to blame me all the time. Wants to call me cussing me out all the time. It gets ridiculous after after months and months and months of dealing with that stuff. What these people don't realize, because like I told y'all last week, they lack empathy. What these people don't realize is all the stuff that they're doing to the other parent, all that's doing is affecting the children, but they don't care. They're using the children as a manipulation tool. They're using the children to try to seem like they are a better and more wholesome person than they are. And that's very dangerous because especially when they're little children, they don't know any better. They just see that other parent as mommy or daddy, and they're like, mommy and daddy can't do no wrong. But they don't realize that they're just a little pawn in the narcissist game. But us being grown and us being able to see through the BS, there's different ways to deal with it. You can protect your children. You can do different things like keep those court-ordered Zoom calls scheduled. Do everything you're supposed to do. Those visitations, regardless of whether you want to do them or not, keep going. And anytime the other parent doesn't show up, document everything. Anytime the other parent calls you, cusses you out, treats you like you're nothing or less than a person, and tries to use the children as a scapegoat for being able to have that conversation with you. Oh, I'm just talking about the children. How are you just talking about the children when you're sitting here cussing me out? But document everything. Keep every text message. Because somehow, someday, some way, the court is going to start seeing through the narcissist veil. Everybody, if they don't see it already, is going to start seeing through their lies and their manipulation. So you continue to be a good person and you continue to do right by your children, and sooner than later, you will have the victory. I know it seems hard. And like I said, I wouldn't talk to y'all about something that I don't know anything about. But trust me, their day will come and people will start to figure out exactly who is, dare I say, the better parent. Or not even the better parent, that parent that actually cares, the parent that has the best interest of the children at heart. It's been a difficult journey, y'all, but I've been dealing with it. Like I said, one of my ways of coping with it has been going to regular counseling. One of my other ways of coping with it has been doing this podcast and not sitting here living and coping and dealing with this in silence. You know, you have to expose these people for who and what they are. You have to keep the conversation with these people at a minimum because, you know, they're going to take it there. They're going to try to manipulate, hover, do whatever they can to get you back under their evil spell. But you got to do what you got to do to make sure that you are always keeping the children as the most important thing and not giving in to their BS. No, you won't be able to gray rock. No, you won't be able to totally get them out of your life because they purposely had these children with you to keep you in their life. They don't care about you and they don't care about those children. Please don't think that they do. It doesn't matter what they say because actions speak louder than words. And a lot of times, they're just all talk. So when the gray rocking doesn't work, like I said, keep that conversation at a minimum. Keep the conversation about the children. When they call you cussing and fussing, guess what? You hang that phone up. Do what my friend told me. When it doesn't concern the children or when they aren't talking to you respectively, just hang up. Just say, look, this has nothing to do with the children. When you calm down, I will speak to you. Stop giving these narcissists the power that they do not deserve and watch how that flame and that fire that you've been giving them for months and years just slowly starts to disappear because you're not giving them any more power. And I've noticed that. I mean, and then the last thing, like I said, the last and most important thing that people like to take for granted is counseling. There's so many resources out here. There's so many things that you can do, so many people that you can talk to. I told you in the last show, if you don't have a lot of money, go to your local resource center, see if they offer free counseling. Go to your OBGYN, see if they offer free counseling. Go to the church, find a church member that will help you out and get yourself some counseling. It's no excuse. Stop giving these narcissists the power that they do not deserve.
And for these parents that's going through dealing with these levels of narcissists, I love the strength to you. First and foremost, because I know my share of friends who've had to deal with these levels of narcissists, and thankfully have been able to escape, not unscratched, but been able to. With that being said, to piggyback off what you said, these type of folks, you definitely don't give your power away to, and they don't deserve it. The fact that these types of individuals would use even children for their own devices and purposes, that shows the sadisticness of them, to where anything is a possession to them, and that's quite sad to me.
As a mother, you know, all I think about day and night is protecting my children the best way that I can. I have 4 children, 2 by the narc, unfortunately, but I have 4 children. And I'll be darned if somebody just comes in my life and just disrupts my peace, disrupts my home, just because they're mad that they were discarded. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine finally having enough strength and just being so tired and numb that you, as the victim, discard the narc. And then you try to move on. And then you try to fix your life. And then you try to rebuild your life after life dealing and living with the narc. And then never cared about the children before. Never. But then all of a sudden, it's like their personal crusade to all of a sudden tell everybody and show everybody that they do care. Like I said, it's wild. And even what Ninja said, it's even sadistic. Like, where did you come from? You didn't care about them before. You never showed passion or compassion or empathy before. All of a sudden, after you were discarded, all of a sudden you want to cry in court. Oh, Lord, you guys. I wish I could record this stuff because this is like comedy gold here. But cry in court, like fake cry, and put on these shows like, oh, I miss my children. I love my children. No, you don't. Stop lying. Because you don't. And anybody that can't see through that BS, at this point, they're just another tool for the narc, because you have to be smart enough to see through that BS. Now, yes, a lot of people don't know what's going on within your home. And I've noticed, and I've spoken to a lot of young women who have dealt with narcs, and they have confided in me and told me that as the victim of their emotional and mental abuse, they didn't want to tell everybody exactly how bad it is. But let me tell y'all something. You're not doing yourself a favor by living in that hell. You're not doing yourself a favor by continuously giving this narc the power they don't deserve. You have to expose these people, because once people start seeing exactly what you're talking about, and once people start understanding, then you start realizing, oh, I'm not the only one going through this situation. Stop living in fear of these crazy, deranged people. Get out there and start talking to people. Talk about your situation. If you are dealing with more than mental abuse, but physical abuse, go get a protection order. Stop giving these people the power that they do not deserve. And yes, they will lie and cry and manipulate and do everything that they can do to keep you attached to them, but do not let it happen. It's time for y'all to start. Look, it's the end of 2020. It's been a terrible, weird, crazy year. It's time for y'all to start taking your power back. Even now as I'm sitting here talking to you, I have more than a testimony. I have been through so much foolishness dealing with this narc. As I'm sitting here talking to you now, I'm unemployed than a mother. But this was at the hands of the narc. This is what they do. Oh, you don't leave me. Watch and see what I do. You see what I'm saying? And then when to sit there and admit that he purposely, Ninja was standing right there. He purposely, y'all, made me lose my job, got my job taken away from me. That's BS. Because he knew that I was proud of my job. Anything that the narc knows that you're proud of, they will take it away. And to bring it back to the subject, that could be your children. That could be your job. That could be the people around you that you love. They'll try to manipulate them. They'll try to get everything taken away until they are the only one that you can depend on. But I'm telling y'all now, do not let that happen. Create a support system around you so that it can't.
That's a mouthful there. And to confirm what she said, when I heard, this particular narc even admit what I would call a high level of vindictiveness, all because of her not even wanting to deal with him in that capacity and relationship level. And these are the tactics that these narcs will do. And all it is control and manipulation. They will use any type of tactic they can. They will run your name down to the ground if possible. They will question your motherhood or fatherhood, for the fathers that deal with narcs. Even try to affect you having relationships with others after the narc. And these are all control tactics. They will try to deplete you of your money and things. It's to the point that this narc even wants to take her children away, and that's the most evil and vicious thing that you can ever do, when in reality you don't even particularly care for the babies that you claim that you love. At the end of the day, it's nothing but a game to these folks.
It's literally a game. How many times has he said, "Oh, you won. You won." Like we're playing a round of Mortal Kombat or something. How many times has he said that? Yes. It's literally a game.
Yes. And to these narcs out there, if you listening to this, people's lives, and they probably don't care, but I'm gonna say that people's lives are not a game. Your children's lives is not a game. You getting back at this particular person only hurts them, and the fact that y'all probably don't even care about that. Whatever karma comes your way, you deserve every bit of it, and I feel no type of way about that.
Yeah, y'all. So before we get too heavy, let me just say, if you're just tuning in, y'all just missed a really great show. This is Serious Sunday, and we're talking about co-parenting with a narcissist. Remember, last week we talked about exposing a narc. Now we're talking about co-parenting with a narc. And I'm using this podcast as my healing. I'm using this podcast as a means to get this off my chest. Because these things need to be said. Because like I told you guys before, I know I'm not the only one dealing with this. I'm not the only one that has dealt with this. And I refuse to be the only one that will be able to survive from this. That's why I'm trying to help you guys out today. If you just tuned in at the last part of the show, do not worry. We are on YouTube. Of course, we're the Two Masked Weirdos on there as well. So we're going to have this podcast ready for you. Also, we make sure that we are on Live Me every single night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you real topics, real stuff that you guys want to hear and want to talk about. If you want to write into the show, we'd also really appreciate that, because we love answering your questions on the show. As a matter of fact, this segment right here is dedicated to somebody that had a question about co-parenting with a narc. So that's why we're talking about that today. So if you want to write into us anonymously, we totally get it. We totally understand because we touch on some really heavy stuff. Just make sure you email us at 2maskweirdos@gmail.com and we'll make sure to feature your question on the next show. Just like we always say, it's about protecting your peace. They will do whatever they need to do or feel like they need to do to disrupt your peace. Now, you need to be a warrior. You need to not be scared. You need to stop being afraid and protect your peace at all costs. Because they're going to try their darndest to disrupt it at all costs. So, yeah. Before I start making somebody cry up on here. I'm sorry, y'all. I really got to say this stuff. I really have to say this because, like I said, I really feel like in my own healing, I could be helping somebody else. Somebody right now listening to this podcast, regardless of whether you're listening to it months later on YouTube or regardless of whether you're listening to it right now on Live Me, guess what? There's somebody out here that's dealing with the same thing. And Lord knows the days and nights that I have cried dealing with this BS. Lord knows the days and nights I've been angry and confused and wondering when it's all going to end and why is this happening to me and all this other stuff. But you know what? Now I'm at a point in my life where, well, I've always been at this point. It's always been about the children. Because anybody who knows me knows that I am overprotective of my children and will do anything for them. But right now, I mean, there's a situation that happened. I'm not going to go into it too much. I'm not going to give you too much tea on my life. But I will say this. There was a recent incident that just totally got me to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. And you got to get to that point too. Like I said, y'all, there's plenty of resources out here. What do I always say? Google it. If you need some help, write me at the email 2maskweirdos@gmail.com. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Because once again, this could be some information that could help somebody out. Like I said, I ain't gonna get too heavy on y'all. We're gonna go ahead and end the show. I hope you guys have a good night. Tomorrow is Mournful Monday, so it's gonna be another heavy show. But we promise we won't make you guys too emotional tomorrow. But yeah. We will see y'all in the next broadcast. Bye.